With
It's just
the
quite
karma
spooky.
seal, it goes back to, I think, chapter like I don't know what chapter it is. I'll just say like 60-ish, 62. Kamwe's the one that knows the chapter numbers. Anyways, a chapter where Boruto dies. So he was taking Momoshiki's drugs, and then Momoshiki took over anyways, even though the drugs were supposed to prevent that, the Byakugan suppressant pills from Amino. So Momoshiki takes over. Kawaki kills Boruto because Boruto wants him to because he can't control Momoshiki. And then, for
Hmm.
some reason, he just feels like he can control Momoshiki's powers better now, of which he can't do, by the way. So Boruto's just wrong here, basing it off of nothing. And he stops taking the pills because he feels this way. So you get to the prophecy arc, where, by the way, he's just allowed to do that, apparently, I guess, because other people just believe him, I assume. They never bring it up again. They never talk about it. Anyways, get to the prophecy arc. Momoshiki's like, the time is coming, boy. It's about time you lose everything. And Boruto's like, no, it's not. And so then Boruto's just determined, fighting back against Momoshiki. So then that doesn't play out. So Momoshiki just takes over, generally, just randomly, whenever he wants, after his fight with Kawaki, after Boruto uses like 2 jutsus. So it's not that he's drastically injured or knocked out or low on chakra. Momoshiki just randomly takes over whenever he wants for the sole purpose of freeing Kawaki and then letting Boruto take over control. Like, Momoshiki could have stayed in control there if he wanted to. And Momoshiki's the one that decided to take control at that moment. Like, he was specifically waiting for that moment. So then he did that. You get Boruto still thinks he can just fight against Momoshiki. Then Boruto gets stuck by Ino Shikacho. In shadow paralysis after omnipotence. Momoshiki's like, boy, I'm going to take over and kill these friends. And Boruto's like, no. And then Momoshiki starts doing that by expanding the karma. That's something like Momoshiki could just do it at any time, mind you, at any time. So then Sasuke comes, saves the day, and that just doesn't happen for some reason. That's also not explained why Momoshiki doesn't continue taking control, even just it does. Who cares? Sasuke comes and grabs him. So why does Momoshiki stop taking control there? Anyways, you get to the end of the chapter, chapter 80, the time skip, and Momoshiki was just wrong about the prophecy. Yeah, Boruto, he's not going to lose everything. Oh, and also, Boruto, he can control Momoshiki's power now, after all, despite losing control
What was
once
Momoshiki's
just moments prior,
prophecy?
and
What was the
almost losing
prophecy?
control a second time just moments prior. Both of
Yo,
which were not in his control at all and entirely in Momoshiki's control. But no, Boruto, he just has to not be depressed. And then Momoshiki, he can't take over. Yeah, Momoshiki, he's just wrong. Momoshiki's power, I can control it now. Because of course I can. Because why wouldn't I
Ood,
be able to? It's consistent. It makes sense. We don't need to
Ood.
explain it. What's up, Mr. Styling? I wasn't done yet,
Um,
but
what was, what is I mean,
yeah? You had something
what
to
was
say?
Momoshiki's prediction?
His prediction? You, in terms of what?
Like regarding Boruto, his like prophecy, or like what was wrong about, like what was it and why is it wrong? No, I know you said why
Those
is it wrong, but
Yeah,
what
it's
was it?
those blue eyes will take everything away from you. First of all, it wasn't those blue eyes, it was those blue eyes over there, because it's not Ano, it's Sono. Second of all, uh are you gonna say Ada's blue eyes took everything away? It was more like Ada's omnipotence, not her eyes. Like, the eye is the Senrigan, not the omnipotence. The third thing, it did not take everything away from Boruto, just objectively so. First of all, Boruto doesn't feel that way, and second of all, again, objectively, Boruto didn't have everything taken away from him. So, Momoshiki was just wrong. Oh, also, Momoshiki thought that Boruto would be depressed because everything was taken away from him, and then Momoshiki would just take control permanently. Of which he didn't take control at all. Ever again. And then you get to 2 Blue
Yeah.
Vortex. You coming off of chapter 80, which doesn't make sense, coming off of chapter 60-something, which doesn't make sense, to where he couldn't control his power, so he took the drugs to control his power, then he couldn't control his power, and then he felt like he could control his powers, and then he couldn't control his powers twice, and then he felt like he could control his powers and could. And you can get to 2 Blue Vortex. Seemingly, he's in control of Momoshiki's powers. Momoshiki's not just randomly taking over whenever he wants. That's a good thing. You get to this latest chapter, he's looking at his Karma Seal. Orochimaru's there. Oh my god, I'm so worried about Momoshiki taking control. He doesn't say it, but like, you can read it on his face. It's probably what he's thinking. And you get to the latest chapter, he's Karma Resonance. Oh my god, Boruto, this is gonna be bad. What if Momoshiki take control? Ah! And he flies away scared.
Yeah, it's pretty much like as I said, it's basically like part 2 Naruto, like just shipping the Naruto not being able to control it. I guess that's why they're doing it.
But that doesn't make sense because Boruto should be able to seemingly just control Momoshiki now. So I don't know what happened in between to make it flip-flop like a fourth time, but it apparently happened. Unexplained once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite silly.
The explanation we already got was perfect. Same with Shippuden in Naruto Part 1. Naruto Part 1, okay, well, over time, this seal is loosening. So more and more chakra is gonna leak out. The more you use it, the more it loosens.
No, the reason it was loosening was because Jiraiya loosened it.
Well, no, it was loosening over time in general. That's why it leaked out against Haku. The real explanation from like out of universe is because it's whenever Naruto gets mad because that makes the cool moments.
No, because Jiraiya loosens the seal. It's stated that Jiraiya loosens the seal.
He undid Orochimaru's tetragram seal.
No. When he trains, I think it was a fillet in Shippuden, but like
yeah,
Jiraiya,
over the time skip, he loosens it to unleash the Four Tails. But that's he did it
which
that
then
one
makes
time.
it worse.
And then he placed the
so
weird sealing tag thing on him that Kakashi used when he was transforming against Deidara. Anyways, the point is the seal was loosening over time in general, which is how he transformed into the full Nine Tails versus Pain. Jiraiya didn't loosen his seal again after.
My point is that Boruto's maybe got over worse. Like they're trying to like show the reason, but like the what's the word for it? The comparison between like Naruto and Boruto and how it's similar. How like Boruto's like over time he's having a hard time controlling Momoshiki, and that's what I mean basically. Like trying to show the same thing, and I think I don't like that kind of thing. I think it's not like there's no point for him just to be like Naruto and stuff. That's my point. Let's get on to Himawari now.
Well, hey, wait. As more in the, so the thing is with this, the whole Karma Seal explanation. Again, using the Part 1 explanation is fine. With Part 1, the seal's loosening over time. It's an undefined ticking clock, but it's an inevitable ticking clock. You know, the longer the story goes on, the bigger of a problem, the more of a problem the Nine Tails is going to be for Naruto. An obstacle for him to overcome that just becomes a greater and greater obstacle as the story goes on, as well as a greater source of power, because obviously the Nine Tails itself is a power whenever Naruto transforms into the Demon Fox to use that demonic power. You know he's gonna beat up the bad guy, because of course it's power. Anyways, so there's certain conditions to let it out, as well as over time it just gets worse. The same applies for the Karma Seal. Over time, inevitable ticking clock, not a defined one, undefined ticking clock, but inevitable, it's going to extract. Over time, as it extracts, Momoshiki can draw on to more and more of that Karma Seal's power, because that is his power. And so also, Momoshiki can just take over control the higher the extraction percentage based on the conditions. If he's low on chakra, or knocked out, or whatever, it's just more likely for him to take control, and it's just going to be a bigger and bigger problem. That explanation works just fine. You didn't need to complicate it by introducing all these other elements that don't even have descriptions. We're just having to just assume what's happening is a big problem.
Yeah.
Stick with the basic explanation that worked for Part 1 of Naruto.